Okay. Thank you very much for joining our online reading session of the book Śrī Bhaktyāloka by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭ𝚑ā𝚔. Om Ajnanatimranasya Gyananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Nidanamane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurivani Pacharani Vishesha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauranga. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare. Vakam Karati Vachalam Mangalam Gayate Girimat Kripatamam Mande Shri Gurudev Dharanam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Yasya Deve Para Bhakti Yatha Deve Bhutā Sete Gattāya. Yanta Pravishya Mācamam Prasaktan Sanchivayate Klashakti Darasudanyam Chasva Charna Shravana Progadi Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Prabhupada Sukabdo Manchin Sansam Shrom Jai Vikasa Bhakti Namo Bhaktivinoda Ṭ𝚑ā𝚔 Namane Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Bhupānupāyate. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the book Śrī Bhaktyāloka. So we are continuing to read from Prajalpa, the second topic. So mostly these topics have already devotees know it, so I will not discuss so much. So we will just read it. So Asita Prabhu, can you please read it, if it is possible?
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. Talking about others should be rejected in all respects. But in the practice of devotional service, there are many favorable topics that are faultless, even though there are about others.
Okay, this is important. Actually, talking about others means we'll only offend devotees. But sometimes, in order to make ourselves, it is said that an intelligent person learns from others' mistakes. An intelligent person is that person who sees others' problems and he acts intelligently. That is called as proactiveness. A less intelligent person will only see the faults of the people, but a person who is more intelligent tries to see how that person is making mistake and how he should not make mistakes. So it's like this. Everybody, to err is human, and history repeats because we have not learned from our mistakes. So it's like this. But in devotional service also the same thing applies. So we have there are favorable topics and unfavorable topics. Even unfavorable topics are also discussed to know the importance of the favorable topics. Once during morning walk, Srila Prabhupada was speaking about the hair of women, and he specifically was speaking about Bengali women's hair. It's there in the recording, I'm telling you. And then suddenly Satsvarup Maharaj will tell that Krishna's hair is very beautiful. Then Prabhupada will say, why do you bring Krishna? This is all sense gratification, whatever we speak. And then immediately Prabhupada will only say, it's good that during sense gratification also you remember Krishna. So the thing is, there is nothing like unfavorable or favorable. It's the way how we can mold. Prabhupada was speaking to a car racing person. That guy is in sports. He drives sports car. And the Prabhupada goes on, speaks about sports cars, and that guy is also speaking about cars, and they are going on speaking about cars. At one point of time, that person himself raised the point of how he could see death in front of him while he was driving the car very speed. He's speeding the car. Then Prabhupada caught him there, and from there Prabhupada started teaching. So sometimes it so happens that we try to speak which has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. But devotees know how to make that unfavorable situation also favorable. Just like a great mridanga player is not that you should give him a very good, very nice mridanga, which is very nicely made. A good mridanga, a best mridanga player is that person who can play the beats from a very broken, very bad mridanga. Of course, there is nothing like bad mridanga. I mean, it doesn't sound properly. He can create sound from that. That person is actually a topmost mridanga player. So, like that, in this material world, it is said by Krishna says everything in this world is what is that?
Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosh
No, no,
api
no.
na taje.
What is that?
Sar
That word is
sarvarambha
there.
hi doshena.
Sarvarambhai doshena. In this material world, everything there is some other fault. Everywhere. Just like, for example, water, there is a fault of having bubbles, but at the same time, it also has the act of increasing the volume of it. Trees leave sap, but at the same time, some trees give fruits, flowers, shelter. Even if tree is nonsense tree, still it gives shelter, wood for the fuel. Uh, so everything in this world has dosha. Like for example, if you eat more groundnut, you will become more pitta. You will develop rashes in your body. So what you should do? You should take with jaggery. If you take raw peanuts with jaggery, you will not have rashes in the body. Like for example, if you drink milk, then there is a problem. But that same milk, it is heated up, and if it is what is you call it, up and down, they do it for children, for kids and all, they do it. My mother used to do to me whenever I used to drink milk. She used to take the 2 cups. 2 cups are taken, half and half is filled, and from top to bottom they will move the this one to reduce the heat. They will heat up the milk so much, and then they will reduce the heat by pouring into one by one, by pouring into, like, what I can say. In India they do it. What is that called? What is that thing called? Does anybody know? What is that called? Kneading, kindling. What is that called? The way that okay, nowadays they pouring milk, one cup
Tempering.
to other.
Tempering and
Tempering.
is flow.
Does anybody know? Actually, I don't know how to explain that. Uh, you know, it is something like this.
Tumbling it or something. Tempering.
Something like this. 1 second. Something like that. I will put the image in the chat board. Something like this. You saw that? Everybody saw it?
It's loading. Yeah. Yes, true.
No, but this one is very small one. Actually, in India, they do it very long distance, and there will be lot of foam coming in that milk also. So that is the way they pour it in such a way that is the way the dosha in the milk will go away, and you will not get any problems. Actually, every time whenever you drink milk, the children are given like that. They are They are put from the top to one glass is just like in the picture how it is shown. You put it down, and another one is poured on the top, and from long distance they pour. It is like in South India, the tea stalls. They're expert in doing this. They're doing a long distance. I don't know how to explain this. Hindi में बोल सकता हूँ मैं. So the thing is, that is the way the dosha in the milk is removed. There is everything has some other dosha. Just like mangoes. Mangoes, if you eat more, what will happen? It will create heat in the body. Pitta will increase. So in order to reduce that, what you should do, Anybody knows Matajis? Matajis know what we should do to reduce the heat in the mangoes.
We keep in water,
Yes, that is right. Every time Maharaj, and even in my house also, my father used to say, you should keep this overnight. You have to soak in the. I used to keep for Maharaj, get from the stores, and then we used to keep the mangoes in the overnight. I used to soak water in the water. Next day, it should soak for more than 3 hours, 4 hours, at least 5 hours. And the next day, if you give, then the body heat will not be increased. It will not affect our body. It will not increase the heat in the body. So everything in this material world has a dosha. But Hare Krishna mantra has no dosha. Vaishnava Seva has no dosha. DTs have no dosha. Prabhupada has no dosha. Krishna's Bhagavad Gita has no dosha. Bhagavatam, not Namala Puranam, no dosha at all. So these are some of the things where we have to take shelter upon. Book distribution, there is no dosha. Even if you stand, even if you yell at them, even if you scream at them, even if you take more donation, but the main important thing is you should distribute books. So if we are doing it, Krishna says that's all. There is no dosha in that. Yeah, there will be problems coming after that. That is another thing. But the per se, the activity is no dosha at all. Okay, continue, Prabhuji.
In order to completely renounce talking about others, one needs to live in the forest.
Wow.
The two different types of practicing devotees are the householders and the renunciates. Because the renunciates have no business whatsoever with sense enjoyment, they can give up talking about others in all respects. But because a householder is engaged in earning, saving, protecting, and maintaining the family, he cannot completely give up talking about others. It is best for him to live in a Krishna conscious family.
Okay. So it is about the difference between the householders and the mission. Prabhupada is saying in order to completely renounce talking about others, one needs to live in the forest. And Prabhupada Prabhupada is saying, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākūr, he writes about the renunciates and householders. So, see, this is an extreme thing. In order to completely renounce talking about others, you have to live in the forest. So that is not possible for us. So that's why we have to avoid talking about others. Like, for example, generally, just now also I was speaking to one devotee. Topic about others will definitely come and it will lead to offense every time. So we have to pray to Krishna to be in such a very renounced stage. Not to talk ill about others or not to talk about others in such a way that it is condescending or anything like that. So that's why here it is said renunciants have no business whatsoever with sense enjoyment. They can give up talking about others in all respects. So we should pray to Krishna that whatever we speak, katha ganam, should become a song. It should inspire people in such a way that people practice Krishna consciousness. It should inspire in such a way that we together become Krishna conscious and give Krishna conscious to others, specifically renunciates, those who are living in the temple, those who are sannyasis, those who are vanaprasthis. They need not talk about others, but what to do? Nowadays, there is so much of things going on, so we can't avoid talking about others. So we have to We have to be cautious. Hmm. But a householder is engaged in earning, saving, protecting, and maintaining the family. He cannot completely. He lives with the people. He cannot give up people. He has to converse with them for earning, saving, protecting, maintaining the family. So he cannot completely give up talking about others. Mm. But even householders also see to that they engage in more and more hearing. They engage more and more serving the brahmacharis. They should see that they call brahmacharis to their houses. If you are living in the local temple, you can call brahmacharis once or a while to your house and do kirtan, maybe monthly once. You do kirtan, feed prasadam to them, and it is a good kind of reciprocation. Actually, it is a grihastha's duty because we are not staying out and we are earning money and so many things we have to do. So what grihasthas have to do is that they should call brahmacharis, call sannyasis, call grihanaprasthas, and then whether they are good or bad devotees, that is another thing. Whether they are doing politics, whether they are not good, by calling them to their houses, by giving them prasadam, whatever may be the devotee, will become favorable for you. So it's not that we want to get favor from them. Vaishnavas, they are chanting Hare Krishna. So you can call them to your house, offer them prasadam, give some dakshina, offer some dakshina. So it is a good kind of reciprocation that hear from them what they're speaking. Mm. Of course, if they're speaking mumbo jumbo, that is another thing. But if even if they are renounced and then staying in the temple, like for example, they may not be renounced totally, but they are married, but they live in the temple. They work for the temple. They work 24 hours in the temple. So even if those devotees are called, that is also good. So that's why you have to best live in the Krishna conscious family. Krishna conscious family means what is that? Jedina grihete kirtana dekhi grihete goloko bhai. That is the way we have to mold our house. We have to have kirtan every time in the house. So better to bring brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas, or devotees. They do kirtan, call here and there, give prasadam. So home should be always busy with devotees, always busy with Krishna Katha, always busy with hearing. Then there is no possibility of Maya entering. So that is the way we have to do it. And there are so many rules, but generally, basically, this every grihastha can follow it. Uh, every month or monthly once or monthly twice or monthly mm, every 2 months, 6 months twice or thrice, we can call the local temple brahmacharis, offer them prasadam, have a big kirtan, and then do some talk, tell them to talk. Each and every brahmachari can speak something. And then we used to go in Bharuch, myself, Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu. We used to go to many, many devotees' house. We used to go to Achaleshwar Prabhu. We used to our godbrothers, Vaman Dev Prabhu. We used to go to Rishikesh Prabhu. Sorry, I forgot his name. Rishikesh Trivikram Prabhu. All these very beautiful devotees. Arvindaksha Prabhu, we used to go to Radhesh Prabhu's house. They used to call us brahmacharis and then offer us prasadam. Jai Govind Prabhu, from most of the devotees know in the United States also, Jai Govind Prabhu, he is very rich person at the same time. He is rich in heart also. He takes to their places, offer us mangoes. During mango season, he offers so many mangoes. So much he does. So in this way, all the unfavorable talks are avoided and only favorable talks are kept in mind. Okay, Hare Krishna. Continue to read.
Yeah. It's best for him to live in a Krishna conscious family. When all one's material activities are related with Krishna, then even his unavoidable talk about others becomes sinless and a part of devotional practice in relation to Krishna. He should not talk about others in a way that is detrimental to anyone. He should talk about others only whatever little is necessary in his Krishna conscious family. He should not talk about others without reason. Moreover, when a guru enlightens his disciple on some topic, then unless he occasionally talks about others, his instruction may not be clear. When previous
Okay, this is every line has so much to
yeah.
speak. Okay. When all one's material activities are related, then even his unfavorable talk about others becomes sinless and a part of devotional service related to Krishna. That we can see in the lives of pure devotees. This we can see from the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The apparent material conversation, just like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Once he was going on in his motor car. At that time, he used to engage cars also. So he used to, at that time, we were going from one place to another place. Then they happened to meet one small boy, and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur apparently asked him the way to go to one place. He asked,
I
just
think he
like
was
we
going
asked,
in bullock cart, I think. Something like
bullock cart or car,
yeah.
whatever it is. The main thing is here is he was going for a preaching program or something like that, and he didn't ask to chant Hare Krishna, to read Bhagavad Gita. Why don't you dedicate your life? Something, nothing like that. He just asked him where to go to that place or some we just like we ask address to people. So that apparently put an impression in the heart of that boy that in future that boy he joins Gaudiya Math and becomes a sannyasi. I think Vana Maharaj or somebody is. I forgot his name. Maharaj also mentions in the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's book before releasing the anecdotes, what some of the anecdotes which Maharaj explains. So this is one of the anecdote. So it's apparently it is material talk. It has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. Nothing to do with Krishna consciousness, nor he told him to chant. But the pure devotee's aura, pure devotee's talk is like that, that in his every word there is Krishna sitting in his mouth. And whatever they say, it is just Krishna is emanating from their mouth. And they just give Krishna to the people. Whatever they receive through their ears, they receive Krishna. Of course, it's not that Bhaktivedanta Thakur spoke to so many people. They were in that. There were so many masons were there. So many contractors were there who were building houses because he was building Gaudiya Math, Chaitanya Math at that time. It's not that everybody changed, but if they are receptive, if they are ripened fruits, then definitely they will have an impression in the heart. Just like yesterday or day before yesterday, I think yesterday we went, day before yesterday we went to Costco here in United, like in Atlanta. We went to do some shopping. There we met a person who saw Prabhupada in one glance. He saw Prabhupada. He said, I saw Prabhupada in just one glance, and after that I couldn't see. He's from Puerto Rico. And we met in the Costco, and I gave him one book. So at that time, I was just thrilled. But the same person, same Prabhupada, here he didn't. He's like a same karmi, some person. But when we met him, he was so happy. He took the book. He was happy, and he shared that how he saw Prabhupada in just one glass, and then Prabhupada just went from his on his way somewhere he was going, and he just one glance he saw Prabhupada. After that, he never saw Prabhupada. Okay. But the same, the glance, how it affects another devotee, you see. I happened to speak to His Holiness Rupa Raghunath Maharaj. So Rupa Raghunath Maharaj, he said that he was in Europe, in London. He said that when he was in London in his teenage, he saw Prabhupada just like you see somebody while crossing the road. Like that he saw Prabhupada. But became a sannyasi, other person. He's just remaining still in this one. So it is the soul who has to accept it also. So my point is that apparently it may be a material thing, seeing a person, but if the person accepts Krishna consciousness, then sadhu sangha sarva shastru koi. So lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. It may be not be related to Krishna, but everything what a pure devotee does relate to Krishna. That's all. He should not talk about others in a way that is detrimental to anyone. Yeah, you should not use bad words for devotees, but what to do? I used sometimes because what to do, we get betrayed or something. I have to tell you actually before everybody. I'm not here sitting like a, I am a pretty much big rascal. So don't think what I'm doing is right. But I'm also trying my best. It's not allowed in a way that is detrimental to you. Yeah, we should be sensible. We should be sensitive. We should be sensible, sensitive, and very choosy to speak to devotees. Here and there, we have to speak. Yeah, he should not talk about others only when little is necessary. He should talk about others only whatever little is necessary in his Krishna. And in the Krishna conscious family, better not to talk arguments in between husband and wife before the children. This is also one of the prajalpa, which in the family sometimes what so happens, there are problems. There is every time problem. Even in the ashram also there are problems. So if at all you want to say something, even in the ashram also, the leaders have to see that in front of everybody unnecessarily don't fight. It creates a wrong impression among the juniors. If there is anything, just discuss among the three and then forget it. But it is not done. There's all politics, everything is done. At least in family, one should see that the husband and wife, Mataji and Prabhuji, don't argue in front of the kids. I know when we were children, um, my mother, father used to avoid speaking anything which is very, very, which creates a rupture between them, among the, in front of children. Mm. And never talk. The Prabhujis have to see that they should not raise their voice to their wives in front of their kids. Unnecessarily, don't unnecessarily yell, shout at women. Neither Mataji also should see that she should not talk, yell before the husband, before the devotee. Husband means Prabhuji. This about talking about Krishna consciousness. So in that way, what will happen? There will be an impression among the kids, among the children whom we want to raise in Krishna conscious family. So whatever we talk, it should give a healthy Krishna conscious atmosphere. It should increase a healthy atmosphere of Krishna. I don't know if all the devotees are speaking about all these things because these are very personal and these are very, very touchy topics, very difficult. Like small things, petty things, devotees fight in brahmacharya ashram also, even in Krishna, in family also, in devotees family also. Small petty things and big arguments occur. Both are all devotees, good devotees. Even the leader is good, even the brahmachari who is doing is good, even the Mataji is good, even the Prabhuji is good. But when they come together, a big Mahabharata happens. Everywhere it is like that. Mm. So uh, it's like that. And talking about others, it will create more problems. So I have seen devotees, what they do is that in front of, they talk with you about others, they talk in front of you. And in about you, they will talk in front of others. So it is like that. Better not to do this type of politics. If you have something, better fair enough, talk with others, that's all. In this way, actually, we will also not reap problems in our heart. We will also not reap envy, pride, or jealousy, or in all sorts of bad vices in our heart, neither we arouse in others' heart also. Because we want to chant Hare Krishna. We want to chant Hare Krishna peacefully. One cannot chant Hare Krishna without being peaceful. 16 rounds. Ooh, 16 rounds. 2 hours we have to concentrate. How we can concentrate if we have so many things in our mind? If we have politics in our mind, if we have betrayal in our mind, if we have somebody else's ill feelings about others, how can we chant Hare Krishna? Sometimes I think so much. Better don't have any sort of, don't talk with others. They are like two sides of the coin. They have a dark side and they are bright side. It's very difficult. So, uh, so what we should do is that we should pray to Krishna. We should chant. We should recite shlokas. We should recite, that mm, uh, we should always recite the two shlokas which Kirisher Kit hoite moishe lobhishta, Jagai madhai hoite moishe papishta. This is told by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in every chapter. Purisher Kit hoite moishe lobhishta. He says that I am the lower than the worm in the stool. Jagai madhai hoite moishe papishta. If you think Jagai madhai is the sinful, I am more sinful than. Uh, Jay more naam loe, say punya khoy. Whoever takes my name, his whole pious whatever he has pious credit that he will lose. See, such a great stalwart person. He's thinking about himself. Actually, we should recite this shloka every day and now. In order to how because how we can avoid talking about others, because that is what is attractive for us, because our heart is like the worm in the stool, like the cockroach in cockroach Janata Party. They say no, we are cockroaches. So every time we get attracted to so many nonsense things, but we should understand we are we are most low born. Mm. So পুলিশের কীট হইতে মুইসে লাভিষ্ট, জাগায় মদায় হইতে মিশে লাভিষ্ট. So, and he says that যে মোর নাম লয় তার পুণ্য ক্ষয়. What is that?
Tara punya shoy.
Kshay means he will his
Piety
punya
is
or piety or punya or piety is reduced or destroyed. জাগায় ময়দা হইতে মুছে পাপিষ্ট, পুরুষের কীট হইতে মুছে লঘিষ্ঠ. So it is like this. Other one said, মোর নাম শুনে এই তার পুণ্যক্ষয়, মোর নাম লয় এই তার পাপ হয়. He says, anyone who hears my name loses the result of his pious activity. Anyone who utters my name becomes sinful. So these are the two verses which he repeats every time in every um, chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we should always repeat these two verses and then think our position. So before telling about others, in Telugu we used to say that before pointing out finger towards others, you should see that the three fingers are pointing out towards you. We are pointing out fingers on others, one finger on others, but actually three fingers are pointing towards us. Sometimes we say, and that reason also is given that while chanting Hare Krishna, we don't chant on the pointed finger. We don't put the beads on the pointed finger because that is most contaminated finger. We try to point out mistakes on others, so that's why we don't put the beads on that. It's most impure finger. So that we say or not? Sometimes we say that. I don't know. I say like that.
what is that?
While we chant Hare Krishna, the chanting beads, while chanting on the beads and holding the chanting bag, we take the finger out and put it outside. And then we chant in the second finger. then sometimes why people ask, then I give a reason that because we point out others' mistakes, so that finger is actually contaminated. So don't use that finger. So Krishna's holy name is very pure. So you should think that you should not point out fingers on everybody or point out faults on anybody, and you should think that you are having full of faults. You are fallen in this material world. So you chant Hare Krishna to uplift yourself, to that is Krishna's holy name which you receive from the Guru. That is uplifting. That is the most uplifting. That is the most uplifting thing. Don't think that you can do something. You are sinful person. I say like that. Mhm. Okay. Yes. Continue, Prabhuji.
When previous Mahajanas have talked about others in this way, there is merit in such talk, not fault. As Shukdev Goswami said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Nidraya Hrite.
No.
Yes.
Nidraya hrite naktam yavayena chavavayah divacharti haya rajan kutumba bharani nava deha patya kalatradishva atmasnishvasapyapi asatsapi tesham pramatto nidanam pashyannapi na pashyati. Everybody should by heart these two verses. These are the two verses with which Sukadeva Goswami begins his Srimad Bhagavatam discourse to Parikshit Maharaj. This is very important verses which Prabhupada here and now every time he quotes these verses. Okay, please continue.
The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction.
Okay, you see here. Here there are two things. One is Sukadeva Goswami is one of the Mahajan. There are 12 Mahajans. What are they? What does the shloka say? Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Then Swayambhu Narada Shambhu.
Marah Kapilo Manu.
Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Kumara Kapilo Manu. Then
Pralada Janako Bhishma.
Pralado Janako Bhishmo Bali Vayasakhi Vayam. Vayasakhi means Sukadeva Goswami. So Sukadeva Goswami is one of the Mahajans. He said when previous Mahajans have talked about others in this way, there is a merit in such talk. Every time we hear Prahlad Maharaj also says, Prahlad Maharaj also tells, what is that? Prayena Deva Munaya Swamamukti Kaman. He says that those people, I condemn those people. He is also speaking about others in this sloka. Prayena Deva Munaya Swamamukti Kaman Maunam Charanti Vijane Sapararthanishta. He says that these people, they don't care about the people who are in the cities, who are going to hell. They are in their own Savavamukti Kaman. This is one of the they are in the Kama or desire. Their only desire is to just uplift themselves. That's all. They don't care about the people. But I'm not like that. Naivodvijay paraguratyaya vaitaranyas twadvirya dayana mahamrita magna chitta sochetato vimakachetasa indriyartha maya sukhaya bharamadvato vimuthan. Here also Prahlad Maharaj speaks about others. Who are the others? They are vimuthan, who are caught by the maya. Who are they? And, what is that? What is that? What is the shloka I started? I recited the shloka, but I forgot the first line. Naivod Paraduratyaya Vaitaranyas. Actually, those who are unable to cross this ocean. This I will. Virya. So Virya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta. It says that I am not afraid of all that. Prahlad Maharaj says that I am not at all afraid of material existence. For wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in the thought of your bliss. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, society, countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. So here also he speaks about love, them, but at the same time he is concerned for them. Why we are distributing books? Because we are concerned for people. Sometimes we may yell at people. Sometimes we may sometimes give little bit of in such a way that they will be offended. But actually, these are all Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying that he's not at fault because that is not a fault. That is a small mistake. Like for example, when we are walking, sometimes we slip. That is not a mistake. That is a natural thing that when we are walking, sometimes we may slip. But that doesn't mean we stop walking. So like that, we have the people who are preaching, who are preachers, they may tell sometimes harsh words, but it is not fault. It is actually in order to awaken them, in order to jolt them, we have to tell. As Sukadeva Goswami says, "Netrayahete naktam vyavayena." It's very heavy. What do people do? Only two things. Either they sleep or sex. That's the only thing. And in the daytime, money making business or family members. They have to maintain their family. That is the thing. I have no time. People say, Prabhuji, please take the book. We say, Sir, please take the book. Sir, please. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. Maybe some other time. I say, time and tide waits for none. You'll become old and this hair will not be there. This flimsy body which you are showing, thighs which Mataji, Prabhuji are showing each other will not remain. The shorts which you are wearing, that will not remain. Uh, the body which you are showing will not remain. People don't know this. So they are too much attached with the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. So we have to speak. This is speaking about others, but there is no fault in that. Every Mahajan has spoken, like it is like this. He has to preach, and at the same time he has to bring enlighten people. How you can enlighten without comparing comparing with the position, with the topmost position to the lowermost position. One has to compare, otherwise one cannot preach. Just by telling positive, even though you have to tell positive, still you have to tell something which is negative and something is a problem. You have to speak like that. huh? So if there is love, then you have to tell people how not to hate also. What is the problem with the hate? So like that, you have to speak about others. But if you are speaking about others, that should result in elevating people's consciousness, to bring them up. So this is the main idea. Uh, Here Sukadeva Goswami said, although Sukadeva Goswami talks about materialists in order to instruct him, he is not considered as prachalpi. Therefore, such activity should be considered beneficial. Again, in order to instruct his own disciples, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke about pseudo renunciants in the following words. Okay, you can read.
In the following words from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. प्रभु कहे वैरागी करे प्रकृति संभाषण देखिते न परोन आमी तार वदन शूद्र जीव सबे मरकट वैराग करिया इंद्रिय चरण बुले प्रकृति संभाषिया प्रभु कहे मोरा वश नाही मोरा मान प्रकृति संभाषी वैरागी ना करे दर्शन. The Lord replied, I cannot tolerate seeing the face of a person who has accepted the renounced order of life, but who still talks intimately with a woman. There are many persons with little in their possession who accept the renounced order of life like monkeys. They go here and there, engaging in sense gratification and speaking intimately with women. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my mind is not under my control. It does not like to see anyone in the renounced order who talks intimately with women.
Okay. Among anything, whatever it is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can tolerate anything, but not
Not this.
imposter kind of activities. So this is the pinnacle of Krishna consciousness. And one side, Shivananda saying, when wife was bearing a child, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very happy. And at the same time, when Chota Haridas was talking to a woman, he expelled him from the association. He was so strict. So we have to be careful in our Krishna consciousness also. I've experienced that in Bharuch. It was so good, We didn't had any association of Mataji's. That Prabhuji, whoever is taking care of, the Vamandev Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were so good that we didn't had any association of women whatsoever, Mataji's at all. Sparingly. And I think the whole 1 year, or I was there for 6 years in Bharuch. Of course, I was not there for a few years, at least for 3, 4 years, I was not staying at all. But rest of the 2, 3 years when I was staying day in, day out, and some days I was traveling here and there, hardly maybe 4 or 5 times among the 6 years I spoke to Mataji's. Hardly. So it was very good. Mm. Even in Mm, uh, Even in Salem also it is like that. It is very, very difficult, very hard to speak to Mataji. There's no way you can speak because everybody is busy in that way. And yeah, so that is the what. Uh, Still there are problems. Still there are problems. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can tolerate anything, but not this one. So that's why we should recite this verse. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam, ajagdisha. How women should decide this?
Yeah, that is a new question.
Actually, I thought of this many, many times. Prabhuji, they will say Nadanam Najanam Nasundari. Yeah, Mataji also say Nadanam. I don't know. Nasundari. What is- See, the thing is that
Ultimately, actually, everyone is a Purusha only, ultimately. So,
no,
in
no,
that
no.
sense, we can say.
No, no, that is the thing. But the thing is here when we say Nadanam Najanam Sundari means actually woman. But at the same time, with perspective to Mataji is also, they should also think that except my husband, everybody is like my son or my father. Like that we have to see. Should not see anything other than that. So if you are having in that consciousness, then Nadhanam na Purusham. Na Purusham means they are living with the husband. What to do with them? So the thing is, they are not after material beauty per se. That is what the thing is. Na janam, na janam, na sundari. Kavita. Uh, just like I tell that, okay, I should not say this, but what to do? Some Mataji, is becoming more famous and like Hare Krishna. I should not talk about that, but better not become famous. Mataji, why she should become famous? Why? They should become famous in chastity. Oh, this Mataji is very chaste. This Mataji is, she speaks to, oh, Krishna. It's on record, We should speak alone with Prabhuji's. Nobody is there around. They're taking videos and putting on the YouTube. Why? Why you have to do like that? You should be given example. You should cover your head. We see that she's very famous and she doesn't cover the head at all. What is this? Some Mataji should tell her. Some seniors should tell her. Please do. Uh, and who am I to speak all these things? But because I'm a brahmachari, I have nothing to do with that. Actually, the problem is if you speak regarding women, it's a great problem for a brahmachari also. So I should not speak like that. But in order to just explain the point, we have to tell. Uh, there was one video which came that Mataji was driving on sannyasi. Uh, Sannyasi was sitting and she was driving, and after that, that video was removed because she got a backlash or something happened. So the thing is that you might be a leader, but better woman becomes humble. Even it is not good for a sannyasi or a brahmachari or anybody. to get recorded with Mataji's. Maharaj, oh, Maharaj is very particular. He says never upload this, with Mataji's. Outside Mataji is different when they are interviewing. Maharaj doesn't say anything. But you don't see Maharaj being with the devotees or devotee women. Never, never. Devotee Mataji cannot dare to come before Maharaj to speak alone or to speak of this one. Alone or anything for that matter. You don't approach. Even the approach, the servant should be there, will be there every time. So
I've seen some
I've
other
seen
Maharaj like had interview with some devotee woman. Some other Maharaj had interview.
I don't know about, I don't want to talk about all the sannyasis, but mine, what I have seen, what Maharaj is doing, so I have to speak about that. So the thing is, uh, I've seen many times Maharaj, when Mataji's come, he sees to that the servant is nearby. He sees to that he explains the servant is also there, sitting and speaking. He doesn't see the face of Mataji. He sees the face of Brahmachari who was sitting. The servant is sitting. Even Prabhupada, you can see the video of Prabhupada sitting in the terrace of Hare Krishna land in the newly acquired Hare Krishna land in Bombay. When all the people they came to, and Prabhupada was sitting on the cot, and all the brahmacharis were sitting around, and Prabhupada, in front of Prabhupada, the small girls were dancing, and Prabhupada was not seeing them. You could see the video. There is a video like that. Prabhupada without tilak, and then later Prabhupada was having tilak. So that video I'm talking about. So Prabhupada was not seeing, although they are small kids and he's like a grandfather, more than a grandfather. It's the small kids and Prabhupada is, I every time see that video. I every time see that video. In Bombay, you also see. So Prabhupada was not seeing the face. Prabhupada was not seeing them at all.
But
So,
with small
uh,
kids, like we can like Prabhupada used to like Saraswati used to touch the hand. Like,
that's another thing. That's another thing. That's another thing because she's small kid. Kid is different. But I'm talking about they are like 12 years old, 13. I mean that girls, like like not grown up girls. They are young girls. I mean they were dancing, in front of Prabhupada and everybody was dancing. It's a nice. You can see that video. I don't know whether devotees have seen that video or not. In that it is Prabhupada will never see the face even. He will see down. He will see the flower in his hand. I can see that. I can see that video. It's there. Okay, Prabhu. Continue.
unless one speaks in this way while instructing and while concluding a subject, there is no benefit for oneself or others.
Okay. Regarding the previous topic, I wanted to say that even Brahmacharya book, Maharaj was asked by one Mataji. She's shouting. She's writing. And I am shouting, and I'm raising my voice and I'm writing. I am woman. Can I read this book, Brahmacharya and Krishna Consciousness? Maharaj will read that. She says, yes, you can read. You should read it. Maharaj will say like that. So many times Matajis came and asked me while I was distributing books in India. Oh, even Western Matajis came. I distributed the Brahmacharya book to so many people, so many devotees. I'm fortunate that I distributed more than anybody Maharaj books. I can tell you frankly. I distributed 8,000 mothers and masters books. 8,000 to 9,000 mothers and masters I distributed Maharaj's book. I distributed Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav more than 100 to 200. Of course, I can say myself because I used to ask Maharaj, I'm alone standing and I'm talking to Matajis, calling them and distributing. Yeah, in the West also they do alone, they distribute books. So Krishna is there with you, Krishna will protect you. Distribute. Like that Maharaj said. So I distributed so many books. So I used to stand and I used to call Matajis and I used to speak to so many. And mothers and masters was so much so that I used to speak to so many young Matajis, distributed like anything. How ancient real success also I distributed so many books. So and the thing is that and then Mataji used to ask, can I read this Brahmacharya and Krishna consciousness? Am I allowed to read? And many times I said, yes, you should read this book. And Maharaj told you should read. It's for everybody. So, and then it is continuing. Unless one speaks in this way while instructing and while concluding, there is no benefit to oneself others. Yes. Yes. Okay, continue.
Therefore, when the previous acharyas have personally set example and taught others, how will we benefited by acting contrary to their instruction?
Yes.
And
Nowadays devotees take podcasts or videos with Matajis alone eating some karmi food. Oh Krishna, what is this? I don't know whether it is awkward or not. We should explain to them they're Indians, and you take with YouTubers, big YouTubers. You speak to Mata. That is a Mataji, and there is some video going on the internet that the brahmachari is very famous. He eats and dines with somebody has come to they should be explained what is prasadam, what is the importance of prasadam, what we should eat, what should not eat, how we eat. Not that you eat like a Westerner with fork and this one, and then what is this? Huh? You may be a elite speaker, elite preacher, preaching to Ambanis and Adanis and all these people, but don't. You are a brahmachari. You are a simple person. They are Indians. Why we have to tell something? They are Indians, Baba. Although, even though they are not practicing or anybody, but why we have to not tell Bhagavad Gita? Why we have to straight up tell about Bhagavad Gita? They are Indians. If they are not hearing, that means Indians. We can speak to those people who are favorable. Like for Anil Agrawal in UK, he is the head of Vedanta group. Huh? We met one, relative of Anil Agrawal here. They came to the temple. Anil Agrawal is a very big millionaire, billionaire. He purchased one of the big mansions in the what is that? I forgot the big where the biggies stay in UK, London. The big people, all big people have the Mittals, the Ambanis, everybody. Even Virat Kohli has the big house. So Anil Agrawal, he is telling you should all read Bhagavatam. I am at the age of 670, 80. That video is there. ISKCON London devotees distributed him Bhagavatam, and he is reading Bhagavatam. He's chanting Hare Krishna. He's a devotee. Huh? So if they are fortunate enough, we can explain why we have to sneak and then make all sorts of things and in such a way that it becomes a mockery out of it. And these devotees, whom I am explaining, they are gone too far in all these things. Made a preaching in such a way that you have to be like this, then only you can preach. Then otherwise you cannot. And it harbors a great hindrance for those devotees who want to preach strongly and straightforwardly. It is a great problem actually. Uh, Actually, those people who are elite, those who are big people, they're always egoistic. They cannot be Krishna conscious. Even they can't chant Hare Krishna. Okay, you may do it, but do it in such a way that it doesn't disturb the greater devotee diaspora. Why you have to bring all these things to common, general, and very humble people? They are just earning the middle class people. Actually, people, if you speak straight from Bhagavad Gita, they're very happy. Uh, and but unnecessarily, these kind of people they make a mock. Actually, I don't like those devotees who speak. They don't tell. I don't want to name them, but in my mind, all these people's faces are coming, and I don't hear their lectures at all because that's not good for me. I don't want to become like them. Okay, continue. We'll complete it. This particular line. Okay, we will stop it maybe. If one discusses improper behavior, current. Okay. Actually, it is very great thing that so many topics are there. I don't want to unnecessarily rush it. So I will stop it here. We'll start from here and then start from the first and then continue. Okay. If they have any questions, anybody can ask. Anything to ask? Mataji's, Prabhuji's. Okay. There's nothing to ask. then we can wind up here and meet tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpitara vescha kripasim devi chapatikānam bhāva Krishna Namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada. Yeah. Now also I speak ill about others here. We can't avoid it. But in order to make one point, we have to tell, we have to compare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj ki jai. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭ𝚑ā𝚔𝚞𝚑 ki jai. Hare Krishna.